Your blood sugar is high, so you decide to take more insulin. But instead of bringing it down safely, you find yourself crashing into a hypo. Does this line of thought sound vaguely familiar to you? Well, it does sound very familiar to me and I can totally relate. Today, I will fix that. I will teach you how you can simply and safely do it in a way that will work for you in Nigeria. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be breaking down insulin correction doses, one of the most powerful but grossly misunderstood tools in diabetes management. Whether you are using Actrapid, NovoRapid, Fiasp, or Humalog, this video is for you. So sit down, relax, and learn. So we start off with section 1. I will be giving a definition of what a correction dose is. So it's going to be a very simple definition. Don't worry yourself too much about any ambiguous terminology. I'm going to make it so simple and you will totally understand it. So a correction dose is actually the extra insulin that you take to bring your high blood sugar back to your target range. And you all know we have a universal target range of 3.9 to 10 millimole per liter, but you can have your own personal target range. So this depends on what you and your healthcare professional have come up with. So this correction dose is not used for food nor random insulin dosing. It's actually calculated and not guessed. Heading off to section 2, why this matters in Nigeria, my home country, or other low medium income countries. It's very important. In Nigeria, and I presume many low and medium income countries, test strips are always limited. Meals are not always predictable. Access to diabetes education is very, very uneven. So many people end up either guessing their insulin doses, they end up overcorrecting, or they totally avoid correcting at all. And that's where the danger comes in. Section 3. So now I need all your attention. We're going to I'm going to talk you through the simple formula. So I'm going to make it, or rather I have made it easy for you to grasp and not struggle with. So this is actually the simplest way you can think about calculating your correction dose. So first of all, I'm going to tell you what the formula looks like. So a correction dose is equal to your current blood sugar level minus your individualized target blood sugar divided by your sensitivity factor. I will repeat that again. Your correction dose is equal to your current blood sugar level minus your target blood sugar divided by your individualized sensitivity factor. Excuse me. So now let's break it down. Let's say, for example, your current blood sugar level was 15 millimole per liter. That's 3 to 4 hours after you had your last meal and your last insulin dose. We assume 15 millimole per liter. And your agreed target range by yourself and your healthcare professional, assuming 7 millimole per liter, and your sensitivity factor, 1 unit of insulin, lowering your blood sugar by 2 millimole per liter. Let's assume these are numbers that have been agreed as an individual treatment plan for you. So your sensitivity factor 1 unit of insulin lowers your blood sugar by 2 millimole, and your individualized target range is 7 millimole per liter, and your current blood sugar level 15 millimole per liter. Now, let's break down the calculation process. So the first thing you would do is to subtract your target blood sugar from your current blood sugar, which will give you 8 millimole per liter. Remember that you still have to divide that 8 millimole per liter by the sensitivity factor, which I initially assumed it to be 2 millimole per liter. So 8 divided by 2 gives you 4 units. So you take 4 units as your correction dose. Section 4. So common mistakes that are associated with correction doses. Number 1, insulin stacking. I talked about this in detail in a video before this. So taking correction doses too close together, this is very dangerous. So you have to have at the back of your mind that you wait at least 3 to 4 hours before you can take a correction dose. And then number 2, guesswork dosing. So you might just say in your mind, oh, let me just take 10 units and let me see what will happen if it's going to bring my blood sugar down, and see how severe the hypo might be. That's a very common mistake, and it's a big no-no. And then number 3, not considering food already eaten. So if you have dosed yourself for your meal, it could still be active, and then adding a correction dose within 2 hours after you have taken your insulin and had a meal will make your blood sugar crash really fast. And then number 4, ignoring physical activity. So if you've been very active, correction doses will make your blood sugars crash really hard. So it's going to hit you really, really, really hard. And section 5, we're going to talk about what your sensitivity factor is. So this is actually how much 1 unit of insulin will lower your blood sugar level. The typical starting points include, so generally many adults usually start with 1 unit lowering your blood sugar level by either 2 or 3 millimole per liter. But if you must remember, this is very important, and I've made mention of it like earlier on, there's no one size fits all. It's actually personalized, so you need to discuss this with your healthcare professional, and they will come up with either it's 2 or 3. So for me, it's my sensitivity factor is 1:2. So 1 unit of insulin brings down my blood sugar by 2 millimole per liter. So that's what I use to calculate mine. Yours could be 3, and some people even 5. So depending on the outcome of your treatment plan, then you'll be told what your sensitivity factors might be. So now in section 6, I'm going to talk about the reality in Nigeria. So these are practical tips that anyone living in Nigeria or any other African country can take a cue on. Firstly, if you can't test frequently, you need to be very, very conservative with your correction doses and avoid large correction doses. Secondly, if you're using a glucose meter, you might need to write down your patterns and learn your response. So this is you listening to your body speaking to you. And thirdly, if your meals are quite irregular, you have to correct very, very cautiously, and you must prioritize your safety over perfection. Section 7, when not to correct. So this is very important. Do not correct aggressively. If you have just had your mealtime insulin and you're about to sleep, or you feel hypo symptoms, or you're quite unsure about your last insulin dose. So those are times that you should not, on no account should you correct on the aforementioned points that I have made. So we head off to section 8. So I'm looking at this section from a lived experience angle. As a person living with type 1 diabetes and working in healthcare, I have seen this happen over and over again. It's not lack of insulin. It's actually the lack of the right information passed across to the patient. So if you feel that this video has helped you, I would love you to go ahead, you share it with someone who really needs it, especially in communities where diabetes education is quite limited. And I would very much appreciate if you could drop your questions below. Let's learn together. And remember, don't guess your insulin doses, just understand them. So I'll see you all in my next video, and thank you once again for sitting down with me today and watching this video. Thank you.